Hello everyone and welcome to Newegg TV. My name is Paul. Today I have a plethora of peripheral products from Mionix. We're going to be spending a little bit of time going over each one of these. Let me start by horribly mispronouncing each one of their names. So starting off with the mouse pads or mouse mats over here on my right, we have the Sargas 320 as well as the 900, a couple different sizes available there. Also mice, and Mionix has a couple different designs for these, one being ambidextrous and one being not. So we have the AVIOR 8200 as well as the AVIOR 7000, and these are made for righties or lefties. We also have the NAOS or NAOS or what have you, also available in 8200 and 7000. And then finally we have the Zibal 60, Zibal mechanical gaming keyboard. Excellent. Let us begin our tour with the, I'm going to call it a NAOS. I'm going to call it NAOS because it rhymes with mouse. That makes sense, right? Yes, okay. So we'll start with the 7000 version here. These are actually very, very similar products, just a slightly different sensor as well as a processor. So first off, when it comes to specs, you get 7000 DPI, hence the NAOS 7000. Optical sensor, that's the ADNS 3310. No positive or negative acceleration, a very, very popular sensor for optical gaming mice. You also have 3-step in-game Dpi adjustment. You can actually adjust the DPI or CPI, whatever one you prefer, in increments of 50. So you can do that across the board and all the way down to 50. I'm sorry, yes, from 50 all the way to 700. Also an ergonomic design. Again, this one is designed more for right-handers, so if you're a lefty, you might want to go with the other mouse. But you get 7 fully programmable buttons here, a built-in 32-bit 32 megahertz ARM processor with 128 KB of built-in memory, so you can save your settings if you take it from computer to computer. Also a soft touch rubber-coated surface. They actually put 4 layers of the rubber-coated surface on all the mice we're going to talk about today. So it gives it a very nice feel. And then you have programmable LEDs, up to 16.8 million LED colors, thanks to the RGB that's in there. Now switching over to the 8200 version of this, again, very, very similar in most respects. You're also going to have 7 buttons and pretty much the same design. However, you do have a slightly faster processor, which is down there. This one's actually a 72 megahertz ARM processor, so it's going to do things like saving your profile settings a little bit faster. All the mice here are going to be compatible with the Mionix software, and for that you can do the SQAT SQUAT, Surface Quality Analyzer tool, along with the included software to analyze the quality of the surface you happen to be using. And that's of course going to be much better if you're using one of the mouse mats that we're going to be talking about today. Apart from that, you get a better sensor, so this is an 8200 DPI sensor rather than a 7000 DPI sensor, and this one is also a laser sensor versus an optical sensor. So if you prefer lasers, then definitely go with the NAOS 8200. Now here's a look at the Avo Retail Boxes, and again, I know I didn't actually show you the NAOS, but I'm going to show you all 4 of them at the same time in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. Again, pretty much the same specs here respectively for the 7000 and the 8200 version of the AVIOR, just a different ergonomic design, so these are going to be ambidextrous, so you can use them either way. These are designed specifically to accommodate either a palm or a claw grip, so you should be okay with either one. So if you're really looking for the most versatility with how you hold your mouse, then the AVIOR might be the way to go. Again, here on the back we have specs listed off, and these are going to be using the same sensors again respectively for the 7000 and the 8200 as the NAOS. You also get some cool features across the board for all 4 of these mice, such as an adjustable polling rate. You can tune it all the way up to 1000 hertz, a 1 millisecond response time. I don't even know what a megasecond is. But you also get angle tuning, so you can adjust the X and Y rotation angle to counter your hand sweeping angle, and that will improve your accuracy while you're gaming. Now let's actually take a look at these mice. And hooray, we have taken the mice out of the box. In case you're wondering what else you get a Mionix sticker, and you also get a little Mionix guide right there, as well as instructions for going over to the Mionix website to download the software that you can use along with these mice. Now, first off, we're looking at the NAOS. This is the NAOS 7000, and I can tell you it feels really, really nice. It's got that nice kind of rubberized soft touch surface. There's a logo here at the back that glows, as you can kind of see on that one that's plugged in. More on that in just a moment. Of course, you have a nice sturdy scroll wheel at the top. These 2 buttons here, which can adjust the 3 different DPI settings that you can do. We have side buttons as well for forward and back, which I always like. And then the design of this one is a bit wider, as you can see, and it is contoured to fit the hand very nicely. And then it also has rests here for your index and your pinky finger, which I happen to like a lot. You can ask Kyle about this one too, because he actually used one of the earlier NAOS versions and used it used the crap out of it, if I can say that on Newegg TV. Used it until it died, which lasted quite a while as well, actually, more than 2 years with regular use at work. So here on the bottom you can see the 7000 dpi optical sensor. You can also see a very large PTFE or Teflon feet, which means that on the proper surface it's going to give you a nice easy glide, and it's going to give you minimum resistance. So if you're going to game a lot, then that is definitely a very useful thing to have. Also, the switches here at the top, clicky switches, are Omron switches, 20 million click resistance, which is also really cool. And then as well as the angle tuning that I mentioned earlier to improve your tracking for X and Y axis, you also get angle snapping, which is also another useful tool. And then one thing that Mionix really wanted to point out with this is there's no hardware acceleration in the mouse at all, which means, well, that's just generally preferable for gamers who want a higher degree of control over the game and how the mouse functions and the accuracy in particular. The cable itself is also fully braided for all these. It's about 6 feet. I'm sorry I didn't get a precise measurement, but I just did the wingspan version. You have a standard USB plug. It is gold plated, which doesn't really help for signaling, but it can help reduce the chance of corrosion, which I find to be a nice little feature. And that's pretty much it for the NAOS 7000. Over here we have the NAOS 8200. Which again has the laser sensor on the bottom versus with 8200 dpi versus the optical sensor in the 7000. And then this one I actually went ahead and plugged in so you can see some of the lighting effects. Again, 16.8 million color combinations that you can choose for the different colors there. This one happens to be green. Here you can see pushing the button there will switch between our DPI settings. So again, you can set 3 of those using the software and switch between them very easily. Then you get a light for the logo there at the bottom, as well as on the scroll wheel, as well as on the side, so you can tell which settings you have. And other than that, physically, it's pretty much the same as the 7000. Let's move on to the AVIOR. This one is ambidextrous, so it's made to fit lefties or righties, which means for one thing you get a couple extra buttons. So this is a 9 button versus 7 button, and you can see the buttons there on either side. So you get forward and back buttons regardless of which hand you happen to be using, and of course you can program those if you want them to do something else since you have some extras there. This one I've also gone ahead and plugged in so you can see the blue lighting effects, and here you have the logo as well as the scroll wheel that light up. You don't get lights for the different settings that you have, but you can still do the same thing with these top buttons and switch between the 3 different profiles that you can configure on the fly. And then again, this is the 7000, so this one has the optical sensor at the bottom. Again, large Teflon feet, so nice easy sliding. And then lastly, right here, and this one's not plugged in, but again, same thing. You have the AVIOR 8200 with the laser sensor and pretty much the same design considerations for this one throughout. So 4 very nice mice here from Mionix. Since we just talked about mice, let's move on to the mouse mat, mouse pad, microfiber desk pad, however you want to refer to that. This is the Sargas 900. This is basically the same as the Sargas 320, just different sizes. So flipping over here, we have some specifications since we really want the specs for a mouse pad. But right here, the material is durable, smooth, and flexible microfiber. Also, in case you didn't know, all the Mionix stuff is named after constellations or stars. That's kind of cool. Also, this one has a squat value or surface quality analyzer test of 8, and I can tell you that's true. I've used that software on a Mionix mousepad before, and they are accurate. The surface is uncoated, semi-rigid, and dimensions for this one is 900 by 400 millimeters, hence the name 900. Let me double check what the other one is. Maybe I can just put it right there. Aha! This one is 320 by 260, as you can see. So other than that, they're exactly the same. Oop. I'm losing it here. Okay, thickness of 2 millimeters and a natural rubber back to form for a firm grip on all types of surfaces. And this is compatible, fortunately, with both optical and laser mice. I'm going to go ahead and do a live unboxing right here. This is completely unscripted. So hey, there it is. That was pretty quick and easy, wasn't it? So it comes here in this high-quality plastic wrapper, as you can see. And this one comes rolled up versus the other one, which is not rolled up, but as you can see, it's got a very nice soft surface to it. And although this does come rolled, it is flat enough that it's just going to lay out, and it shouldn't really cause you too much trouble as far as it holding on to its curvature, that sort of thing. But you get the Mionix Sargas 900 logo down there, and then this is not just a mouse. That's why they don't call this a mouse mat. It's because this is the super duper wide one, really wide. Yeah. which is made to go over the entire surface of your desk to handle both the keyboard as well as your mouse, and also give you a nice even surface across the entire thing, which I tend to like because when your mouse is in one surface and your keyboard's like a little bit higher or lower, that can be an issue. We'll go ahead and do the same thing here with a completely live unboxing of the 320, just to show you a bit of the size difference between them. Again, it comes in plastic, and there we have the baby brother. So if all you're really interested in is a mat for your mouse, then that's probably what the 320 is for, or go for the 900 and cover up your whole desk. And now our mechanical keyboard, the Zibal 60, Zibal. I really don't know how to pronounce that at all. But the keyboard itself gives you media and illumination keys up there at the top. Also a heavy-duty braided cable, a full-speed USB 2.0 hub integrated onto the keyboard itself. Green backlit, I think I already mentioned that, but Mionix Action Key, which will allow you to easily access the functions and features such as changing the lighting configuration, and also a detachable wrist rest down at the bottom. Also right here we have some more detailed specs. So this particular model is using black Cherry MX mechanical switches, and that detachable wrist rest and all that stuff I already talked about, except for the important things, which are a 6-key rollover, so you do have some rollover there as well. Rage-proof durability, which means apparently it's well nigh indestructible. Rage-proof is a bit of a subjective term, but we'll go for that. Also connect through ports for audio and mic, which is nice to have as well, and plug-and-play compatible. Let's test that out. Here's the keyboard itself. As you can see, it's got your standard QWERTY layout. There is the included plastic wrist rest, which I'm going to go ahead and show you guys for now, but I'm not going to attach because I need this to maintain some mobility. Also the cable in the back, again, heavy duty and braided. Unfortunately, we have a bit of a fan out section here at the back, so you can more easily plug everything in. Speaking of which, let me plug this in really quick so I can show you guys the lighting effects. So a demonstration of the lighting here, and it is very subtle, which actually is something that you might actually like, depending on whether or not you like a very bright keyboard. But we already have some ambient light in the room, which is kind of blocking some of that. But the Mionix function key down here and the keyboard function key up there will turn that on or off. And then with it on, you can press the light button here to do 3 different levels of brightness. So that is the brightest level, and that is the dimmest, and that's the one in the middle. So again, I know it's fairly subtle and it's not picking up the greatest on the camera, but in a darkened room this would be plenty to be able to view the keys and be able to determine through those laser etched keycaps what keys you're pressing. Here's a quick look at one of the keycaps, or what's beneath one of the keycaps, the actual switch itself. Again, Cherry MX Black, which is the version that does not have a click and does not have an actuation bump, but you'll still get all the benefits of a mechanical keyboard, it being very, very sturdy and having a much longer lifespan than a typical rubber dome keyboard. Also, the backlight right there at the back, so let me just pop that back on. Apart from the mechanical switches, you also have some function keys for controlling volume at the top, as well as some media function keys right here as well. And then, of course, the lighting controls, as already mentioned. Flipping over the top and back here, you can see that integrated USB 2.0 hub, as well as the pass-through there for microphone and headphone. On the back of the keyboard, we have a couple risers here, so you can give the keyboard a bit of lift if that is your preference, depending on how ergonomically you like to set up your keyboard, as well as rubber feet to help keep it nice and steady on whatever surface you have it set on. There's the Mionix Zibal sticker as well. And then back here to the front of the keyboard, and I guess that pretty much wraps it up. And that is going to wrap it up for this video as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the Mionix family of gaming peripherals. I'm Paul with Newegg TV. If you enjoyed this video, then go ahead and click the like button down in the comment section and comment on the like button and all of that good stuff down there. Don't forget to subscribe to our Newegg TV YouTube channel. You can find links down in this video's descriptions to all these products over on Newegg.com. We'll see you all next time.